listen, or start to back the audio, or start to play back the audio to listen, or start to play back the audio, or start to play back the audio to listen. Back the audio, back the audio, back the audio to listen. Or start to play back the audio to listen. Back the audio, back the audio, back the audio to listen. Or start to play back the audio to listen. Back the audio, back the audio, back the audio to listen. Or start to play back the audio to listen. Back the audio, back the audio, back the audio.
Okay, there's a guitar.
You import in your audio. This would import audio. This would import audio. This would import beginning of the first bit of audio.
Okay, I'm right here, but I'm gonna take a second to finish doing some adjustment on the back end here. So we'll just hang out and enjoy these tunes. I wanna get the settings put in place for the games that we're gonna be playing tonight. So we got a couple community votes that went in, and if you folks have not yet put your votes in, please drop into the Discord and do so. Specific, that one. Okay, go back to OBS, say okay. Okay. Wow. That gets so good and so intense in the best of ways, and I need that. I need that. I need to listen to that on purpose, but at the moment, I need to do some gaming. All right, so looking at what I do have in place right now and what we had for the votes before I started stream, double check here. Okay, so yeah, it looks like right now we've got a vote for Resolution, an adventure that looks to be about a serial killer and his personal AI. Not sure what the whole story is, like why that's what it's about, but anti-hero kind of situation, trying to save the world by learning about the past, and I'm intrigued by that. We also got a vote for Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet, something I've been waiting for a minute to actually play, and I know it's going to be closer to no, it's not Botanicula. I don't think it's Botanicula. I think it's a different one, but it might be by the same author. There was a mobile game that I played on tablet for a little while where you're a bat. And you eventually become like a whole swarm of bats, but you're like moving through. Let's turn the music back on. You're moving through like really hazardous environments and trying to find your flock, I guess is the point of that one. I don't know what the premise behind Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet is, other than you're in a UFO and you're exploring things. And so I know that it has the same kind of like weird cartoony grim style, kind of reminiscent of like All Real Monsters. So I'm looking forward to having something with a very different artistic style in relation to the stuff that we've been looking at recently. And the other thing that I wanted to check out is a game that I just got the demo for called Roadwarden, which also recently had an additional content release update. I'm not certain if that one's actually still early access, but it is a choose your own adventure, tell 'em up, probably closer in style to like Sunless Sea. And so I'm looking forward to that because it's essentially a story about being a ranger. And like, I don't know if you noticed, I tend to play rangers a lot in games. Hunters, huntresses, rangers. That's like the big three that kind of they resonate for me. But maybe it's just because archery. I don't know. So, without further ado, jump into this over here. We're going to check out Roadwarden first, because it is just a demo. Okay. And then let's move me as well. Wow. Gamer mode. Gamer position. Get that gamer crunch going. That gunch. And we'll move over here. Wait, where is my own stream? I've lost it. I lost myself. I found myself. That's not supposed to be playing audio, but I think it is. So that's concerning because I don't want to hear myself doubling. So here's to hoping that's not how that goes. Okay. And sound. Because I turned this all the way down. Hey! That sounds pretty cool. We marvel at the serenity of the forest and crave the shroud of its silence. Ooh, no, we'll leave it on basic. It'll probably be better for my eyes over time. Narration text speed instant, because I need to see what's being said as captions. Tutorials, yeah, deaf support. The narration describes sounds in greater detail. Ooh. I like that. I don't know if you folks have noticed, but I'm a little hard of hearing. And it makes things a little difficult for me sometimes when it comes to doing audio balancing. I like to make certain that I'm clear to the audience, but also that the music is as well, and that neither one really detracts from the other. That's why you see me fidgeting so much with the volume controls on everything all the time. It's also why I'm giving myself a moment here to like find out where the timber's gonna be, so that I can talk around that and know like generally how to remain audible. Let's see here. We're also probably going to end up having graphics acceleration turn on. This is probably going to result in you hearing the whoosh, and I'm sorry until I figure out a way around that. I would rather that you hear everything in crisp clarity, including the background noise, than have it sound like I'm constantly muffled. Describe attitudes essential for new players. Oh. Shows a bit of fluff whenever the game is launched. Cute. Achievements. Okay. Oh, it's a bird. Everyone knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Roadwardens not only accept the struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no stench of blood. Good signs. This should be the place you're looking for. You were supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but the camp isn't safe. It may keep away the goblins and pebblers, but not beastfolk, nor trolls. And the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. It had a long day. Okay, give me just a second. I was not ready for it to just jump straight into the text like this. This is legitimately a book. I was expecting some narration based on the options there, so all right. Here's to hoping my voice can hold out tonight. I already did karaoke stream earlier. Alright, I could look for another shelter. I need to look around cautiously. I dismount and sneak to the gate. Let's peek inside. Or I get off the horse and enter the camp briskly. Interesting. Let's look cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt that anyone noticed the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely cover the arid soil of this valley, but you're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which get denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's the only route north. Yeah, let's peek inside. Oh, it's not numbers. Your heavy boots hit the ground, and the pain of the long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table, a decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. With any luck, your axe won't be needed here. Take care of yourself. If you're hurt or exhausted, some actions won't be available to you. The weaker you are, the higher the chance you'll die in combat. You feel well. 30 minutes before dusk. I approach the gate slowly. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space, the fire pit is cold. 2 people are sitting at the table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. After a moment, you notice the quiet humming. You recognize the melody of a light-hearted drinking song from the city harbor. They don't look like much of a threat. I should be able to enter. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. The first person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with a head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach for it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson, but hers is a bit loose, as if she took it off a corpse. Her head is shaven, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are weary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad was sent here half a year ago, these two surely look the part. There should be more of them. 8, you believe. It's nice. Okay. It's nice to see an unharmed traveler in this godforsaken shithole. It makes me just a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong yet timid. You'll be staying the night with us, I guess. We're soldiers, he and I, adds the armored woman. Her moment switches from half asleep to relaxed. Her moment? We'll do our best to keep the camp safe, but if you were to take the first watch, it would be a huge help. Travelers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? You think for a moment to fully rest. You need a good sleep. Sure. Leave it to me. Fantastic. She rubs her hands together. I don't remember the last time I had more than half a night of sleep. The hours before the midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us up if anything happens. The man flashes you a wide smile. It's easy to wake us up. Just yell. He drinks from his mug. I ask them about their lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question. Whenever you meet new people, you can influence how they perceive you by selecting one of the attitudes. Oh. I was hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Can we talk for a bit? The woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gambeson, and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We most definitely can, you and I, though holding the rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you a messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Or are you looking for help? I'm your new road warden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet it dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. I shake her hand. We'll just say Sandway. Her grasp is confident and her shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. There's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You'll have to use a blanket or something. I should get used to sleeping on the ground anyway. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky, as heavy as it is strong. You can get in the saddle with... Not many humans could ride a horse. What does that mean? Did horses change somehow in this world? You can get in the saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Horses were brought to the Dragonwoods from the conquest in the south. They can trot for a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Your palfrey needs you to survive, but without it, you too would be lost. It's my only companion here. I want it to feel at ease. It takes a few steps towards you, scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting emotionally attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and head to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nicker with relief. You take a couple of minutes to examine its back just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. You wish it had something better to eat than the shabby grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. You haven't brought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the Crimson Corpse Eaters. Worst of all, you have no rope left, but maybe the soldiers could share one. Couldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own very few valuable possessions, essential for your trade. Ooh. An axe made of steel, and a reliable crossbow with quarrels. Many talismans that help with powers, as well as an iron axe and a worn gambeson. Carry writing instruments and alchemical ingredients, as well as an iron axe, a worn gambeson, and a healing potion. Let's take a look. As a fighter, you'll have an easier time in physical challenges thanks to your superior equipment and hidden bonuses during dice rolls. You'll be physically more capable than the other classes. That opens to unique opportunities during some social interactions. It's the best class for RPG beginners. The fighter's weakness is their reliance on physical strength. Your special abilities won't be available to you if your vitality drops to 0. The mage uses Pneuma, a versatile but limited pool of energy points that can be spent to cast a few humble spells. Magic won't protect you better than a sharp axe, but as a mage you'll be able to heal faster while resting, detect magic in mysterious areas, distract beasts with simple tricks, and find a common tongue with other magic users. Using the mage's powers too freely will result in having no Pneuma left when you need it the most. The scholar will know more about the world's mysteries than you, helping you take advantage of some unusual situations. Your character will impress the locals with its knowledge, and you'll be able to read the sparse written clues without anyone's assistance. Scholars struggle with combat more than the other classes, but with enough carefulness and exploration, you'll gain access to alchemical mixtures that help you escape from any dangerous situations. I think... Poll? New poll? What class? Fighter? Mage? Or scholar? We're gonna make this a 2-minute vote. We'll leave that there for a moment, because I know that I'm always ahead by like 30 seconds anyways. Now personally, like, I'm not even sure what I would want to play. I rely on my knowledge a lot for everything, to be honest, and so playing the scholar would feel true to me, like the lady piloting the Sandwife, but the character of the Sandwife probably exists more so as a fighter ranger. And like, spellcasters are cool, but it doesn't always immediately call out to me, and in this universe that sounds, I don't know, unless like one of the spells is fire, because the advertisement for this game talks about burning corpses. Let's take a look at the poll results here. Mage, of course somebody voted for mage. Okay. Well, got about 40 seconds left. I'm gonna let that continue. Nope, it's still looking like it's gonna be probably a mage. Okay. I gotta wait for that to end. Okay, mage it is. Go back over here. I picked the mage. You unpacked and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. Your spare clothes are still here. Just in case, you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug. Okay. Use your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife. Nothing too special or cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. Taking hits will damage your armor. You can then fix it in various settlements. Okay. Unless you're occupied with another task, you can eat food, drink potions, and use your items from this menu. Be sure to click on each new item as you receive, as some of them have unusual applications. Food rations, consisting of dried meat, crackers, nuts, seeds, fruits, and water, which spoil slowly and don't require additional cooking. Merchandise, a pouch with coins. The city artisans make coins by cutting dragon bones into slices. They're valued by merchants, though rarely used in the countryside. Oh, that's cool. A gambeson, a padded defensive jacket made of linen filled with rags. It is the cheapest type of armor, yet surprisingly effective and as a result very common. Magic is unreliable, so you spend a sack of coins to collect a couple of enhancing amulets. They help you focus your Pneuma in ways that you don't quite understand. Your sacks contain all the useful tools. All sorts of odds and ends that you've taken on your journey, just in case. A rainproof cloak, a set of bone needles and a thread, an iron knife, a blade sharpener, a tinder box and a couple of tallow candles, a bunch of rags used to make torches, as well as a flask of oil, a pair of protective gloves made of thick leather. Interesting. Padded jackets are an essential piece of any armor set. They protect the wearer's chest, abdomen, arms, and thighs. The lighter jackets, called akatans, are worn under heavier sets made of alloys or chitin, while the thicker ones, known as gambesons, are worn alone. They are relatively easy to make, and while not all travelers can afford or wear them for hours without getting tired, they're commonly used by guides, mercenaries, and soldiers. Your armor is not in the best shape and could use some additional work. A satchel that includes a leather pendant with a single pearl covered with cryptic engravings. You use it for simple tricks involving light. A clean linen bandage soaked in old herbal balms. You use it to heal fresh minor wounds. A couple of wooden spheres. They get warmer when put around any unusual amount of pneuma. A wand made of a willow branch, partially filled with quicksilver. It helps you channel your magical blast. And your lucky button. Aww. A simple battle axe. Axes made of metals or alloys are among the most common weapons used by travelers. Not as safe as spears, not as fancy as swords, but their powerful strikes can get through animal shells, scales, or thick furs, as well as most armor. They're not great when it comes to parrying, but a single strike may be enough to leave a devastating wound. Still, the vast majority of them are used by lumberjacks, farmers, or carpenters, and are pretty much in every household in the countryside owns at least one just in case. Their shapes, sizes, and used materials vary. Heads are made of stone, especially flint, bones, chitin, and massive seashells, while handles are almost always made of wood, antler, and leather scraps. Traveling with an axe shows that you've learned how to fight humans and human-sized monsters. It's not masterfully made, but it's already been put to the test, and you've practiced with it for many days. Oh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, there is a lot here. The city of Hovlavin, one of the greatest harbors in the Dragon Woods, in the heart of the northwestern province of the 10 cities. I was hired by its officials and merchants. Okay. I returned to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing your beast and chatting between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. I join them and take a look at the meal. It's cold gruel, the meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move from one part of the realm to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work by themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same roads for years. They help the settlements stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. That's not written in a succinct way. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. I eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, and speak with Tulia. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like, and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of the summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 of us are dead. 1 has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land. As her companion. Any piece of information can help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick, whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought.
What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands.
I share what I consider to be relevant. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received. Since this area is too far away from Hovlavin to keep it under control, you were warned that it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, and monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses, or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs, ankle on knee. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Oh, wow, okay. What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take to get you from here? Take you to get from here to the city? Get to here from the city. Wow. On a decent palfrey, I'd guess it'd be, what, 3 to 4 days? When you confirm, she continues. From there, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route allows Havlavan officials to keep in touch with coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools, but maintaining order on a wild coast such as this one is like filling the open depths with coins. Because of the rocks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not that many people living by the shore, and they don't crave to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on.
No soul from the north ever came to the camp. But when we travel to the roadside inn, Pell to the north, they're happy to trade. And to play dice.
Why not just stay at one of the settlements?
The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road, this camp is our post, and, well...
He turns towards Tulia. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way. But, are you a devout soul?
Oh, jeez, okay.
Like most city folk, I believe that people should unite their strength to overcome the strengths of nature and dark magic. Everyone will be judged for both good and evil deeds. I'm part... Oh no. For many years, I've supported a monastery that does its best to advance mankind's spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research. I follow the teachings of an order of truth. I'm from a small village. For me, the freedom of shell, pneuma, and soul are the main virtues of life. My community is unique and independent, and so are its members. I have a place in my fellowship. I have a strong connection to nature and spirits, which allows the path of my ancestors. Some of my beliefs may be considered sinister and treacherous by the city folk. You probably call me a pagan. There's no evidence of the right's existence, and all the mystical tales are explained by magic. No, I'm not. Ooh, I'm very torn between these three. I really like the idea of the pagan. I also like the idea of the order of truth, like coming from a place of knowledge in the first place. Why am I so wiggly tonight? Must be the location of the mic. Oh, I see. She hesitantly looks away. I don't know much about that river of faith, but I'm sure we're not that different. I'm a Unite myself, she says in a sort of pride in her voice. So she follows the United Church. Okay. The people here are disquieting. Every few words she taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials here. She starts to draw lines along her index finger as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. Not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means a fellowship. They do crazy shit.
They do crazy shit, her companion chips in. They use the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. Once I saw it, I begged to never return there.
I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement manages to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt to the dangerous conditions they have to deal with, and the rustic pagan traditions muddy the river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and blood mages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to mankind. Okay. Were you able to speak with these necromancers? You can see why we were not eager to go there if we could avoid it, the lieutenant chuckles.
Maybe there would be more welcoming to a road warden. The roads are dangerous, with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first and soon. Tulia nods. Pell to the north is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeep or the guards. Ask them about the road. Alright, how about the east? She stares off across the camp. Hard to tell. We went there only once. There's hills, forest, rivers. We saw a tunnel sculpted in leaves and branches, but didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. Any monsters worth mentioning? Anything that would catch my mount? We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mufflin eaters, griffins. But we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Tulia glances at her companion. Though Palfrey should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than for territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. That's all I need to know. Wow, that is one part of the story. Any ideas what happened to the previous road warden? Tulia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for the rescue mission? We haven't heard from him in almost half a year. The soldiers speak a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed he'd been stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen his sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave at dawn. Unlike us, Asterion never gets bored. Tulia let out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone's keeping him in a basement. Oh, if anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone's keeping him in a basement. The man carves with passion. We haven't seen him or his Saurian. Something ate them, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer road wardens often use four-legged, meat-eating Saurians as their mount. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, they can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into innocent passerby. Do you know what he was looking for? Maybe he left you a message? Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings. My predecessor left me no clues. We also took a look at Asterian's stuff. Wait, she opens her palm. I almost forgot. She stands and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Pavlovin. I was planning to take all of his things there. A pouch, a second spear, a decent bow, some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you. But I would much prefer to bring the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for his stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. We were meant to stay here until fall. What do you think? Come see us. Tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Havlavin together. You think about your real mission. You're planning to return to Havlavin in the early fall anyway. If he's alive, I don't think he's going to be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. True, but he's considered dead, and I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you may just find his shell lying on the roadside tomorrow. He wears mail, uses a spear mostly, maybe 5 feet tall but stout, long red beard, short hair, pale face, rarely smiles. She glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches out her legs. So, find out what happened to him. Dead, alive, just let me know. Alright, I've lost my rope. Do you think you could help me with that? You're in luck. She heads over to one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack, revealing rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits it down on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. I take a closer look. A fine rope. Oh, wow. Received rope and lost a food ration. Nourishment, easy for you to... Oh. A winged hourglass, a steel pendant hanging from a leather strap. It's common to wear such jewelry to demonstrate one's allegiance to the right. Okay. Alright. So... Oh, Julia leans forward and rests her forearms on her thighs, looking down with clasped hands and meets your eyes. I'd normally refuse, but we need some decent food. Every day I'm searching through our groats, looking for worms and putridity. We forage, but it's not a great spot. Some food rations will brighten up a foggy day. For now, you leave the rope on the table. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happen, and monsters. A strong band, though, his companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in this camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses his arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we would all have died that day. The innkeeper explained that the camp is a trap, and that the armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Stay there at night, lose everything you have. Sound like slave hunters. Julia sighs. Very much so. They killed some. Oh, welcome back. Whoa, welcome back from Europe. How was your trip? Where did you go? What did you eat? Tell me all about the food and the cuties. Adventures are great. I'll keep reading while I'm waiting, though. Very much so. They killed some and took others away. Who knows where? They were letting the northerners go, hoping to avoid their wrath. It kind of worked, adds a soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over their camp, but we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage amongst them. She looks at you. At least we cleared the road, saved lives. Went to Croatia and Venice. That's awesome. Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived ate a bunch of cuties. Jarvie! Eating cuties without me? Those of us who survived the skirmish were young, too inexperienced to spend a summer in this place without a good healer, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a tree ant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt, so a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough, but didn't tell us that he'd cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. Huh. He had to cut it off. He was so ashamed that he decided to walk north, find a new life, disappear. Idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. You've made this place safer. Barely. Julia seems tired. And who knows if it was worth the lives and the effort. What was your mission? Lieutenant looks into your eyes. You know, the usual. Making the road safe. Keeping people alive. I explained it may be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where you can always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. She tilts her head back. Now, if you have any other questions... Alright, anything I should know about the camp? The story is brief. Some merchants built the camp to have an extra stop for mules and donkeys, just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned for some time, serving as a shelter for travelers. The bandits came here in spring, further paralyzing the exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse, but time will tell. You can sleep here whenever you want. You can sleep here whenever you want, the man concludes their tale. Though don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. Alright, Tulia, how did you become a lieutenant? That's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of... what should I call it? She exchanges looks with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership succession, I guess. Havlavan chief selects commanders, those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If a lieutenant dies, they get replaced by the next soldier in line. So you were his successor? Not exactly. When we fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. And you were the third one in line? Basically, yeah. I didn't plan to become a leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow anyways. If you were me, where would you want to go next? The soldier answers quickly. To the inn, of course. To the inn, of course. He grabs this empty mug. The one northwest from here. If you can't afford the room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals rarely gather there. The northern road is much more traveled, mentions Tulia. But the hunters will tell you about this and that, and if you have the chance to introduce yourself, the innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips on how I can make a good impression? Avoid cheap jokes. Stick to trade. Don't waste his time. Show him you can be relied on. Alright. It's getting late. We should prepare for the night. I agree, Tulia signs with relief, and you may do better than Asterion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of the soldier. Thank you for your help. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is already napping, still too anxious to lay down. Stay tidy to have a better chance to influence others. The winged hourglass was adapted by the largest religions of the 10 cities, the United Church, the Orders of Truth, and the majority of fellowships. It's used in temples and funeral rites, but is also to decorate expensive cod pieces or pieces of clothing. Not every soul who wears such a trinket in a visible place is a devoted believer, but it can be seen as a sign of solidarity with the more conservative section of the city culture. Emblems like this one are meant to portray the ephemerality of life and the rigidity of time. The traditional pendants are made of steel, signifying the strength of humankind's determination and innovation. Rites tablets highlight the important role of iron when it came to fighting monsters and expanding the lands of the tribes. Other materials, such as bone, gold, or even wood, are also used, though various communities interpret such alterations in their own ways. The pendants made of steel are not so contentious. Making a rope takes a lot of time and involves complex tools that combine thousands of fibers harvested from plants, mostly hemp, linen, or straw. Since it doesn't take much skill and can be handled even by children, it's rare to find an artisan who would specialize in twisting them all day long. Ropes are much more durable than leather strips and are used for all sorts of things, though their durability doesn't make them a common merchandise. They can be heavy and awkward, so it's common for groups of travelers to share a single one amongst all of them during their journey. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around. Though they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably. Better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. There's this one really loud weirlick that keeps smelling the wall, though it's never tried to get in. He points at a gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes looking for shelter, better call to us to help you out. And if someone is being chased by wolves or anything, better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire. And the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there or something. The watchtower? He gives you a long, puzzled look. Oh, here. He points at a pile of crates. Just up the tallest one. You have a great view of the northern side, the more dangerous side. Also, I know you're tired, after all that riding. He points to the tent at the other side of camp. I can handle a couple of hours sleeping on the ground. If you wish, go there after me and rest just this once. At least I have a paladin side. Oh, I smile. Thanks a lot. You put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, but the sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time your back aches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. The light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For most of the time, you spot smaller critters and birds, but there are exceptions. At one point, you see 3 horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before they clash their antlers, a two-legged dragonling appears, leading its much smaller offspring. The furry beasts try to intimidate the predators with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight, nor to admit their defeat. I don't let that distract me, and I keep looking around. You hear the death screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of musk oxen lazily drew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with a lynx, making playful screeches, going, "Awoo! 5, 6, 7, 9. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there, watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You only can guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple words. You confirm that nothing important has happened. I gather my things and squeeze into the tent. I use my bag as a pillow and put my blanket on the pallet, and then cover myself with my cloak. Sleeping in a tent is not the stuff of dreams, but it is a much welcomed rest. The pallet keeps the cold soil away. The moonlight saves the outside world from the eerie gloom. You listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my journey. The Merchants Guild wants to take control of the realm. Your wardening duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula, learn about the territory and resources and threats, get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with the Lavan officials and traders. Could the tribes resist the soldiers, or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time. 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak to Tulia and return to Havlavan. There you can report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Need to gather some coins so I can help a person I care about. Gather coins so I can retire early. Gather enough connections amongst local leaders. Use them to become a major player in the Merchant Guild. Ooh, that's very in flavor for Sandwife, but we're playing a mage, so... Want to be remembered as a soul who brought peace and order to the realm. A hero. Want to help people, make the region safer for the locals and newcomers alike. Or want to find a new life for myself. I have a difficult past, and I want it to be forgotten. Yo, we're gonna be the local hero. Your half-asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious. You cannot travel during the night. Press the sleep button to rest. Okay. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious, though the pleasant, humid late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, but you need to gather your strength. You can spend the night in a borrowed tent. It's nothing special, but it will protect you from the wind and rain, and the ground won't be painfully hard nor cold. Gain 2 Pneuma. -2 food. -1 cleanliness. Plus no health. You don't need to eat now. Okay, sleep. You take a look at your amulets. For most people they would be nothing more than trash, but you wouldn't sell them for a pouch of dragon bones. You use them to shape Pneuma to your will. With these little mementos, the few spells you're familiar with are far more reliable. Who knows, maybe there's already some power held in them. You look at the old, though clean bandages that remember dozens of herbal balms and wounds. You can put them on your hurting muscles, bruises and scratches, and then hum an old song about time which either heals all wounds or kills us too soon to let us bother with our problems. After a few hours or so, the linen will warm up, confirming it did its job. The tent may not be much, but your spell would make you feel as good as new, though you would lose some of your energy. Yeah. I don't need to restore my Pneuma tonight. I'll perform the ritual. Cost is extra too? So not only would I would... No, we'll keep ourselves strong. Strong! Strong wife! You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. After only a couple breaths, you noticed a weird smell, like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning, rotten meat. Disgust crawls into your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you left them, and you see an open gate. Both soldiers are standing near a funeral pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Tulia is the first one to address you. Sandlife, she greets you with a nod. We use the horse as manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it's male or female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. Traveler or undead? The latter, a young one. She lacked the pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She shifts her weight. One more fog and she'd be a real threat. Even now it took a couple of hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human shell wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours and each moment it spends in the fog. Burning the dead is not just religious practice, it is a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even road wardens, making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Tulia calls this undead a she. Most unites hesitate to do so. Time for me to leave. Running away from the reek, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us, or if you learn what happened to Asterion. There's enough ground there for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales, and yet you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness like this one you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the pyre, and I prepare myself for the journey. Safe travels, one of my favorite things to tell somebody. You somehow miss the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double-check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally preparing for any palfrey for a long journey takes a lot of time. You put on your gambeson and make certain your axe is tightly attached to your belt, then get in the saddle. The palfrey nickers. Ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads. North from here. Travel forward to continue your journey. Once you're done with the north, speak with Tulia and return to Hovlavin. Even in a later hour, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures your mount forward, but the serene chirping of his birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find the pack of four-legged griffins. They're larger than foxes and merge the features of birds and furred beasts. Each one is of a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have a darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're usually too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. I consider my options. Oh, we need to eat. Marks the icons that involve a random chance. Okay. You can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons why travelers stay as close to the main roads as possible, and why adventurers move in groups. Usually, the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple hours. You're thinking about your conversation with Tulia. You've got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. I take my axe, and we hurry the horse. If we ride fast enough, we should be fine. If you have enough pneuma, you can cast spells to access certain unique interactions. I grab an amulet and shape a missile of light, a harmless flare that will frighten them off. You grab one of your oldest amulets, a pendant made of leather and a single dim pearl. The little sphere is covered by cryptic engravings, but if there's any special meaning behind them, you were never able to find out what it could be. Holding the pearl between your fingers, you feel the pleasant, familiar warmth. The spell you are about to cast is not much more than mere illusion, but you take a couple breaths, trying to minimize any risk of failure. The pneuma leaves your shell, formed into a white ball that you barely comprehend. When it falls next to the griffins, for a couple of blinks it emits a dazzling light. The animals squeak and snarl, fleeing in multiple directions. The road is now clear. I ride forward and enjoy the touch of my pendant. It cools down slowly. I'm sorry, folks. I'm having some body issues. Ow. Ow. I am going to need to mute for a second and just kind of go AFK. This is going to take more than a moment. Ow. Okay. Hopefully I don't have to deal with much more of that. Like, I'm still having some pains in other places that I'm used to for most of my life. Weather really affecting me, but it's the ones where, like, it's deep intramuscular pain in the surgical site that really get to me, because, like, those are new scars and not an area that's used to feeling pain. It's not used to feeling. Synesthesia is a bitch. Like, it's great. It really is. I am blessed by the ability to smell colors and taste sounds, but it is also sometimes terrible. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush, and the trail overgrown. Kids used to have the song, how did it go? The harshest pathway leads to the dragon's lair. Those who search for treasure, do you truly dare? The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It was put there by someone who can't write. For folks who can't read, covered in old red paint, it points east, blood there, as people say. Danger to be found. There's not a soul to ask for guidance. I look at my horse. I look at my horse? Aww! What's the horse's name? Should I name the horse Filton? Farah is beautiful as you stroke her mane. Maybe she can't help you choose a path, but you spent many years together. Happy to go on, she takes a couple steps forward. You spot a few berry shrubs and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Time to make a turn. Make a turn. My name is Sandwife. I used to be a mage. Okay. Sandwife, the Roadwarden. After years of practicing with axes and magical amulets to help local villages and to make this region safer. Okay. With special equipment. The fresh snacks spoil fast outside of a cellar, while long-lasting foods are either expensive, like honey or dried meat, or require cooking before consumption, like beans or grains. Most travelers spend their nights in taverns, huts, and villages, where they can trade for cheap, warm meals or even eat leftovers for free. As a result, food rations are only eaten when necessary. Okay. While valuable, she can't survive in the Dragon Woods on her own. The Southern Crossroads, a point connecting the deep forest to the east, the western wetlands, and the road to Hovlavin. You're currently there. So we're supposed to go west? Farah trots with ease, unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which gets sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you, but once you push your hips forward and your palfrey enters a canter, the beasts don't even begin a pursuit. The speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower, taller than the trees. This must be the inn I heard about. Also trying to enjoy some of my curry in between pages here. Inns like this one fit regions traveled by merchants, but you wouldn't expect a place of this size in a forsaken peninsula. The stone and lumber must have been transported from far away, and the workers, guarded by expensive mercenaries, surely lived for many seasons in a primitive hamlet, subsisting on salted supplies. One second. There are seemingly no cracks in the wall, and the building was whitewashed only a few years back. The road is wide and beaten. Dozens of souls could hide, if not in the buildings, then at least in the yard. The expenses and labor put into this fortress were worth many trading ships. 3 armed people are on the ramparts, that you only see what's above their waistline. They're leaning on the parapet right next to the gate, and you notice the glimpse of a smile. They were gambesons, and each one of them is dyed differently. Yellow, green, and linen gray. A woman in yellow armor leans forward. She has long, curly, disorderly red hair, pointing in every possible direction. This combination of colors doesn't work at all. In the woods, one would have to shout to draw this much attention. There's still a fair distance between the two of you, but she speaks loudly. I haven't seen a horse for years now! I just said it's weird to see such a large jackass! Huh! Her voice is young and strong, with an accent that reminds you of the villages spread around Hovlavin. But no jackass would wear a saddle, I'd say! She exchanges a few words with the male guard wearing green, giving you time to move closer. Well, this one here says there really are donkey saddles. Say, traveler, how hard is it to ride a horse? How about you give it a try? Seriously? Just a moment! She disappears behind the wall, and soon after that the gate is opened. While you dismount next to the wood-splitting spot, a couple people surround you, pointing at your mount and commenting on its appearance, though they step away whenever Farah makes a rapid movement. The guard in yellow armor, "Hey there, Milky Taro," is the only one who steps forward. She raises her hands as if to pet your palfrey, but doesn't touch it. She looks smaller from above. How do I even get up there? It's not easy when you lack confidence. Better use a stool, or I can help you. She touches the animal, which pays no attention to her presence. Now I'm really scared. She contradicts her words with a gentle smile and shining eyes. Maybe I should wear something lighter? You nod and engage in a bit of chit-chat with the entire group, discussing what it takes to care for a horse. Finally, the red-haired woman leads you under the roof where your palfrey can rest, tethered with a cord to a wooden post near some old hay. Once you're ready, go inside, speak with her boss. Maybe you're hungry? The other guards return to various chores. They peek at your mount every now and then as they're splitting firewood, cleaning their clothes, weeding the garden patches, and moving chairs. 2 of them are making rope. You head toward the inn, hearing the piercing scream of a boar from the other side of the yard. I open the door. The locked windows make the air stuffy, and the weak fire in the stove hardly lightens up the hall. A muscular man is sweeping the floor near the stairs, but after he glances at you, he leans the broom against the wall and heads towards the counter. If you are in the morning, you can spend the entire day on resting. You're lucky to show up. His voice is deep and soft, with a city-like accent. Okay. He observes you with keen attention, yet avoids your eyes. I have a keg of decent ale, wormwood, bog myrtle, juniper berries, cat's foot. He fills a mug carefully and puts it on the countertop. It's gonna spoil soon. Today, maybe. And we don't drink here before the even. I hate to see the good stuff going to waste. His skin is dark, almost purple, rare even among the southern tribes, and his hair is naturally bluish. His clothes are quite fancy for manual labor. The elegant tunic wouldn't stand out in the city square. I stand at the counter. The planks let out a creak after every step you make, so you slow down a bit. You could swear that the innkeeper made little to no noise. Here you go. He pushes the mug forward. But just so you know, my pelted north doesn't belong to Hablava. You can sleep on the floor if you wish to, but if you want a bed or a meal, you have to pay. We have some leftovers from dinner, but I'd need to check. Thanks for your drink. I see you know how to make friends with a Roadwarden. He meets your eyes with a puzzled look, then grabs a wet cloth and starts to wipe down the shelves. From time to time, your conversation is interrupted by splashes of dirty water in a wooden bucket. Well, nothing is truly free. I have worked for the soul of the road, but I don't need a new mouth to babble. He speaks slowly yet audibly. I value my time, and you should value yours. I drink the ale. The dark room and wooden walls of the mug makes the liquid look as brown as a chestnut. The lean spring hits your nose, and the first sip is even too complex, too flowery. While the brewer has used fancy ingredients, the exotic licorice ruins the aftertaste. Now you know why there's so much left. Maybe it takes an acquired taste. The innkeeper nods. I was hoping to see someone willing to patrol the roads. Maybe you'll help me with a worrying thought I have. Which is? There are brigands in the woods. Our place is a stronghold, so I'm not afraid of an open strike, but they've gotten more active in the last 2 years. One day they may steal our furs, and I've no doubt that's the reason why merchants come here only once. Having bandits around gets expensive. He rubs his hands together, camouflaging his paws. I want you to reach Howler's Dell, northwest from here. It's the largest settlement around, and I'm sure you'll make it there sooner or later. Ask Theus, the mayor, about Glaucia, the bloodthirsty wolf of a woman. I've heard rumors about a raid in the north. If Glaucia is ready to break the truce with the locals, I'm willing to join forces with them to get rid of her hand. He looks at a nearby dragon bone. Not too difficult, right? Just do it when you have a chance. A couple of days won't make much of a difference. I'll pay you 2 coins when you come back with the news. Fine? I should value my own time, but I don't want to be greedy with him, and I want to make good first impressions. Great. What else do you need? Do you have any leftovers? Yes, I feed them to our boar. I won't give them away for nothing. He tells you to wait, then leaves the building for a few minutes and returns with a wooden bucket with a long stick ending with a hook. Go through the gate and turn left. You'll see a bunch of bushes. We need some berries. Bring me a bucketful. You'll be done in half an hour or so. Your horse could use a nap anyway, and I'll prepare something to fill you. The hook is not made of metal or wood. It's a long curved claw, almost black. I reach for the tools. Half an hour? It's quite a lot for berry picking. The tools are cold, but not heavy. You notice a pair of thick gloves at the bottom of the bucket. The berries are not the problem, the innkeeper smirks. Unlike the snakes, better scare them away with a stick or move them with a hook. And protect your hands. The little ones won't eat you, but don't get bitten. I'm sure you know how to be patient. Fine. I am hungry. I'll go right away. You step outside. Farah is napping. At this hour, the armorer's workshop is... There's an armorer here? Ooh. Oh, wow, there's a lot here. The woman in yellow armor is kneeling next to a brown hairy boar which is resting on its side. The beast is not as large as the dark ones in the forest. It responds to the touch of the human's hand and brush with a grateful grunting, rapid twitches of a hind hoof. No matter how friendly it appears, it's still tethered to the well, and you have no doubts its charge would leave Farah dead in a breath. When the woman notices you, she steps forward to the boar's disappointment. So, new road warden. She points at a window with her chin, forestalling the question. We don't need anything now, but when we travel with our furs, we could use some assistance. She might be around 30, but her warm voice and bright smile are camouflaging the touch of time on her unpowdered face. Like many red-haired people with freckles, her skin is unhealthily pale. That's rude. Like, I get it, but still rude. You call people's skin unhealthy? One second. I'm gonna grab my lighter here. The boar runs up to her, observing your boots and fruitlessly sniffing for food beneath the beaten ground. She pats its back, but maintains her focus. How about a game or two? We have a bit of time, we can talk about this and that. Maybe you'll get a couple of coins, or lose one. We can play dice, or throw axes at a target. Axe throwing. Show me what you got. Your arrival, and especially the dragon bone you pull out, are cheerfully welcomed. The guards prepare a couple of wooden planks which are leaned against the wall. There are also spectators, and you're told that the other hunters are either sleeping or have duty on their tower. Remember, no magic. Oh, sneaky. I guess I could have potentially done something along that line. Also, one moment, I just heard a beep. Is it the beep I think it is? Oh, it's a different beep. Nice. Okay. Remember, no magic, says one of the players. His face is deadly serious. There's going to be 4 participants and 8 rounds. You aim with the target drawn with charcoal. The person whose axe lands the closest to the center of the circle gets a point. Axes that fail to stay in the plank don't count. The winner who has the most points at the end of the last turn becomes the winner. I blend in with the group. You talk a lot but don't say much. You share casual jokes, memories, and views on luck and optimal strategies. Farah and Tulia's camp are also brought up, but when you ask about the roads or locals, their stories are vague. The drinks are here. It's a poor beer made from the leftovers after the regular brewing. It's cold, sweet, and doesn't reach your head, but you try to avoid the smell. Just don't spill anything, the boar may get sick, says the opponent with one arm. As a guest, you start with the first throw. Your axe flies well, hitting the very middle of the painted target and piercing the plank with a pleasant thud, which makes it really difficult for the other players to outperform you. A minute later, you've won the first round, but you can't expect to be that lucky every time. All I can do is try my best. After getting your force point, the other players nod with respect. Quite a score, you hear from the guard in yellow armor. She hands you the dragon bones. The other participants carry away the remaining planks. The innkeeper asked me to forage for berries. She chuckles. Oh, don't worry about it. Usually we forage by ourselves, but he wouldn't ask you for a dragon for a meal. Oh. He gives small jobs to people all the time, just to see who agrees to do them. He wants to judge who's of use and who's too proud for their own good. If you agreed, just be sure to get those berries today. And don't try to take his tools away. He hates thieves. Alright. Anyway, tell me about yourself. Oh, what's that? After a brief giggle, her voice gets cold and serious. Nah, Roadwarden. We use names and stories amongst friends, and you ain't one. Don't make me tempt curses. She doesn't trust me enough to tell me about herself. Oh. That's an unusual tower. I'd expect it to be closer to the gate, and shorter. Like in Hovlovin. Fair. But it ain't here to protect the gate. This stronghold was built long before we moved in, and not to fight off humans. The tower was meant to be used by those who observe the deep forest. We look out for fires, dragons, and any winged creatures that are looking to roost on the roof. Baldy, she nods to a man who is indeed completely bald, has a great eye, and sees well even in darkness. Any interesting creatures nearby? Huh! Here! Everything lives here! She flips her hair. I swear, we saw a few dragons, a unicorn family, a battle between trolls and goblins, faced 2 beastmen, oh, and a gargoyle, and a hunting queen shouts all the time. I could tell you all about them, but I won't. She winks and pats the boar on the head. You know, hunters have their secrets. What do you usually hunt for? Anything we can eat or sell. If there's a partridge, a squirrel, or a rat, we don't complain. But when we move as a group, we look for something larger. Deers and aurochs are delicious, but we don't always look for taste alone. There's value in bones, antlers, claws, tusks, things people use to make tools or sculptures. We use some of them to make tools and spears. You can never have enough spears. She pauses and looks at the strand of her hair, then suddenly speaks up again. And we look for furs, of course. What can I find north from here? I'm sorry, we don't really go to those regions. We stay close to home, but sometimes move south or west to Howler's Dell, but only to trade. They're fine with buying more than they need, since they then sell the wares to the coast. She takes a long breath, twirling her hair and gathering her thoughts. You know what? I've never even seen a beach. And I've been living here for, I don't know, more than 10 years now. She giggles. The only part of the sea I've seen was from Old Pagos, which is placed on a hill, and I've never put a toe in salt water. She looks toward another huntress who confirms that her experience is the same. But Old Pagos is a good place. As long as you don't mock their order and act nice, they'll also be kind. Boss says they're too serious for him to stand them, but at least they don't bite without a reason. Your group seems quite attracted to this, quite attached to the boar. How could you not be? She crouches and raises the boar's head, but it steps and squeals as if someone's murdering it. It came with us from the city, just in case. We have no clue how our first winter would go, so we needed some backup meat. And it works too! Cleans the dirt! She reaches out to the beast again, but it trots away. The woman straightens up with a pleased sigh. We haven't needed to eat it so far, but it's also funny. I learned at my home village that the farm boars are getting a bit smaller and more cuddly, kind of like ibexes, so it's not much of a wild, dangerous beast, but we don't let it get close to the other animals, or children. Alright, this is where I don't know if I should ask, but we're gonna try anyways. Also, I need to make certain that is working still good. It's something new. I've never been to the White Marshes, but over the years, we've seen people moving away from there, south. They told us the place has changed too much. A priest died, I think? And the new one awakens the dead. Sorry, Roadwarden, that's all I know. If she's hiding something, she sounds convincing. Thanks. I walk away. I go to the well. I won't get any cleaner here. My clothes need no washing. You need at least one piece of bathing equipment to get more out of this place. The recently renovated wooden roof covers the well from rain and birds. One of the guards is enjoying the cold drink he drew with a bucket. He tells you to only use as much water as is necessary. You hear sounds of work coming from the armorer's workshop. You walk past the well and find an small open shed, not unlike the stable, but with a humble set of tables, carving tools, hammers, sharpening stones, pincers, knives, and other tools. As long as something can be solved by brute force, this place will find a way to do so. There are 2 people sitting on a long bench. The first one is a male with maybe inch-long hair, a cleanly shaven face, a thin, long yellow tunic, bare legs, and sandals. He ignores your presence, sewing a gambeson with great concentration. The second is a boy, maybe 15, who's wearing the crude outfit of a farmer. He glances at you, but soon returns to sharpening a long dagger. Greetings. The man raises his head, but it's the boy who speaks, focused on his task. He ain't talking. Tell him what it is you need. The man smiles in confirmation, looks at the piece of garment in his hands, then looks around, shrugs, and returns to you with a raised eyebrow. I'm in need of your services. He nods, points at the laces in front of your jacket, raises his clenched fingers and shoulder to his shoulders, then gently spreads and lowers them as if he's taking off a robe. You follow his command and allow him to properly inspect your gambeson. After a few minutes, he gives it back, then reaches for his pouch. He pulls out one dragon bone, shrugs, then another one, and waves both of them in the air, pursing his lips. He makes a few speech-like noises from his empty mouth, groaning what sounds like, I don't know. I consider his offer. In 1 hour, your jacket will be carefully patched up. Your jacket is as good as this armorer can make it. I'm glad I made some coin. Alright. Could you patch my clothes if they were torn? My clothing isn't. He shakes his head and points to the uneven seams on his own tunic, then grabs a crude bone needle and shows you its broken head. He wouldn't even if he had the tools, but you could try in Howler's Dell, or Gale Rocks. Okay. Learning the trade, I see. Kind of, he answers reluctantly, but his teacher pats his knee, giving him a harsh look. The kid clears his throat. Yes, but we both ain't masters, you see. There's not a soul to teach us, so once I'm ready, I'll try hunting instead. Fixing things for others is boring. The man grunts a sound that you don't understand it. Seeing your face, the boy chuckles. He said, safe. Let's meet you in the middle. Boring, but safe. The man nods. I leave the shed. Let's go get some berries. The innkeeper knew what he was talking about. You put on the gloves and look to the bushes from a safe distance. It doesn't take long before you notice the first serpent lying on a rock somewhere in the thicket. The creatures are not that large, and even if some of them hiss at you or slither closer, the jabs of the hook keep them at a distance. You don't know much about these berries. They're round and reddish. You wouldn't trust a color even if you were looking for food in the wilderness. The plants don't have thorns, but the leaves are harsh, so you make certain to thoroughly cover your skin with your clothes. You have to look through many bushes to fill the bucket, but the presence of insects and snakes doesn't allow you to relax. I gather the berries and go back. You've returned to the courtyard. 2 of the guards are participating in a friendly skirmish. Their wrestling is accompanied by a crowd. Oh, I love the little story bits as like we're going from place to place. The innkeeper is mixing something in a pot at the stove. So, you again. Need anything? I put his fruits on the counter. Great. He peeks inside the bucket. I've got cabbage stew with a few goose chunks for you. I'd serve it even to the merchants if there were any around. The meal is warm and filling. It's well seasoned and not overcooked. And like I've said, I rarely have food to spare, but feel free to ask if you ever stop by. You may be lucky, and I've been cooking my whole life. Thank you. And how'd that old hook of mine work out for you? I see you still have your hands. Give him the hook. I'm fine. He takes the tools from you and nods. Need anything else? What do you have for sale? I can go and pick up a few things for you. Some food for your travels to start with. Apples, nuts, sausage. Not too many at once. We need to maintain our supplies. I've got an elk for fur I don't need. Its buyer was caught by a pack of red wolves. Nice for a sleeping spot. Just as nice for a wall. Almost untouched bowl of soap. Priceless for a traveler. You can't tell if he's being sarcastic. Made of fine oak ash. Strong. Though you should have some better supplies before you start your own bathhouse. After you mentioned you'd like something more useful on these roads, he looks down. I don't have any blades or armor to spare, but if you pay well, you can take one of our crossbows and a bunch of quarrels. A yew bow, wool cords, and a trigger just needs a little bit of oil. It's as good as you can get without soaking it in magic. Takes a bit of muscle to draw. Oh, koi streaming! But even a 16-year-old could handle it. I won't sell it for cheap, but I'm ready to give a discount to a helpful ally. Let's see what let's take a look at what you have first. Okay, I need that soap. An oak-based balm that burns skin on longer contact. Oh wow, that bow is expensive. And 3 filling meals that won't spoil anytime soon. Yeah. You bought 3 food rations. Alright. Do I have anything you'd like to buy? You pull out some items, but the innkeeper shakes his head. I don't need those, nor could I sell them to anyone. I'd rather make coins than waste them, so bring me something of value. I pack my things. I'm looking for Asterion, the previous Roadwarden. Are you, madam? He goes to the table and invites you to sit down with him. I don't think I'm going to be of much help. He rests his elbow on the tabletop and grunts quite quietly to clear his throat. But I do want you to find him, so... When asked about his intentions, he measures his words. Asterion and I made a risky deal. Well, a very promising one. Last time he was here, he took 50 coins, making my half of the investment. He knocks on the table with a fist, anxiously. You give my coin, or at least find out what happened to the guy, I'll make sure you don't be disappointed after bringing me the news. Could it be that Asterion stole the coins and ran away? He looks at a window and starts to play with a shutter. I just think Asterion had the kind of soul who would do such a thing. For him, it wasn't much of a fortune, and I'd risk saying he'd earned my trust. Not only mine, you know. It's easy for a road warden to make connections. He always had places to go, things to take care of. What? What do you mean I'm offline? Huh? Did Chatterino just die? Ah! What was that? Yo, I'm like on my main connection. I'm not even on the VPN. What the hell just happened? Huh? On top of that, I never actually saw it go down on my end. So like, what's going on with Chatterino here? Ah, alright, well. He rubs the table with his thumb, as if trying to clean an invisible stain. I've asked travelers. I sent a couple of my pals to find him. No real news. I know he stayed in White Marshes for a day and was meant to do something for the people there. It's a village in the northwest. Just stay on the main road until you reach the bogs, then enter them. You may get there before dusk. So, let me know once you find anything, and we may yet return to this whole investment thing. I'll think about it. So, about Glaucia's band. I'm on it. Any rumors worth sharing? I don't like to talk about people who ain't nearby. Show me first that you're someone worth changing habit for. That's valid. What can you tell me about the peninsula? What could anyone say? The place doesn't even have a name, unless there's an old book in an archive that no soul knows about. You know what I'd call everything from here to the coast? The hunting ground. He glances at your eyes. But it's not just us who hunt. Keep that in heart. But the beasts in all shapes and forms. Hey there, Busta. How you doing, hun? We're doing some story time, and then we're gonna change games probably pretty soon here, actually. I wanted to see if there'd be anything having to do with combat, but it's all been reading, and it is way deeper stories than I was expecting. It's frying my ability to, like, do any kind of, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah, especially since, like, it keeps giving me characters that are like, ah, this person's gruff and grizzled, and they got a deep voice. Like, it actually says so in the story, so I'm like, okay. His words gain confidence slowly, which is strengthened by his deep voice. His deep voice. I've lived in this inn for over 10 years now, and I've only seen a couple roads, a couple places. It's just, once you get here and you see how harsh it is to hit the road, you have only more reasons to stay at the warm stove behind a wall, even if it's suffocating. He looks towards the windows. I'm sure you've heard a lot already, that the people don't build hamlets anymore. There's no more ibexes to the south. The traders only stay for a few days. All of our iron is used for cauldrons, not swords or tools. What will I find if I travel west? Well, there's hills nearby, and you'll find a village, maybe an hour away from here. It was destroyed by beasts almost a decade ago. Nothing to find there. The goblins live there now, so most people just travel around it. And they say it's haunted, but who knows? Who cares? He crosses his arms and starts to sway back and forth, gathering his thoughts. You'll get to a large tree on the edge of a camp. For the locals, it's sacred. You're not used to hearing someone mentioning pagans as if there's nothing unusual about them. There's small path south which leads to an old mine in the mountains. Nothing to find there, but keep riding north and you'll find Howler's Dell, set by a clean brook. Farmers live there, mufflins and druids. They'll let you stay for a night, but they're not cheap. If anyone thinks my prices are bad, it means they ain't been to Ape Ale Inn yet. He lets out a gentle smile. I smile. I only know a bit about the next settlement, Old Pagos. The soil there ain't too fertile, so they work in their quarry and help other settlements build things in exchange for crops. The forests and hills ain't too harsh, but the Seekers have a small monastery nearby in the mountains. I don't care much about them. They keep to themselves and they don't pay well. The third village is unknown to me, White Marshes, set at the bogs. I've heard it smells like a griffin's lair. I've heard a lot of nasty rumors about the place, but I won't share them. I don't want to be a lie spreader. So, 3 villages really. Howler's, the one near the monastery, whatever it's called, and the marshes. Don't let their beds and palisades fool you, though. Weird people live there. Don't tell them more than you need to. You wonder if it's something he would tell other travelers as well. How are the eastern roads as rough as I've heard? Oh god. Dude, that is so much text. Alright. Don't leave the main road, I'd say. Not so far from here you'll find an old dolmen. A few of my people had to spend a night there. The monkeys stole food and gods from their bags. It was their fault. One of them had fallen asleep in the middle of the watch, but you know. Eastern forests are wild. The roads are rough. Almost no soul lives there. One day all these roads will be swallowed by the trees again. The furthest my team has ever gone was the home of the Enchantress. Just stay on track until you reach the crossroads, right near an abandoned watchtower. From there, turn east. You'll recognize the place. It's a fine home in a deadly meadow, surrounded by a well. He looks toward the open window, then at you again. Kind of like our walls, but simpler, without coating. She lives in a hermit, Eudocia. I don't know how she survives there, but if you don't have decent coin, you won't find much there. So, back to the crossroads. If you turn left instead, you'll see a road. People say stay away from it. It connects to the tower and the monastery, a shortcut between the 2 roads of the peninsula. I was warned there by the locals not to use it. It already belongs to the beasts. Have you ever been to the northern road? I only know about another inn. It's far from here, but another day on foot, a bit less on the eastern side. His eyes once again focus on the floor. I've never been there, but I've heard it's a safe place, close to villages of fishers and hunters, though I don't know much about them. Well, that's all I need. I'm gonna save here in this conversation, which that's good to see that it lets us do it that way. Wow, there's pages of saves. Interesting. Okay. I'd say that honestly, like that's a good look into this game. I did not expect the demo to go as far as it has, but like I've been reading non-stop and there is so much more, so much that I've missed, so much that I've skipped by like choosing certain types of interaction on certain times of day. I'm just trying to be a friendly adventurer that wants to help people out and has like some knowledge of magic and a bit of just general adventuring and gathering information so I can continue to help others, but there's like this layer of intrigue about what cultures have turned into as availability of information has been lost because the roads are dangerous now. I like this. It's an interesting world. It's a deeper lore than I was like even expecting, knowing that it was going to be a tell 'em up, but it's deep. It's deep in a way that like I kind of hoped for from Sunless Sea. And there's no boat. I don't have to fight on the boat. Like, I love naval combat, but I'm so bad at fighting in Sunless Sea. Like, I'm so bad. Okay. We're gonna quit this for now. We've got to save in so we can come back to it another point. And I'm gonna turn on some funky music. Wow. And I'm gonna take a short break because I need to give my voice a rest. I'm gonna have a drink, take a walk around the house, stretch my legs. I recommend you folks refill your water, grab yourselves a snack, and we'll be right back with the next game. And if you haven't voted already, put your votes in on the Discord. And if you're not a member of the Discord already, join in. But be warned, if you try to just randomly friend people from my Discord and not actually communicate in any way whatsoever, you're gonna get kicked. I don't know what happened earlier, but somebody else tried to join and then immediately sent a friend request to Koi. Like, neither of us know who that person was, so like, hey, if you want to message me, feel free, but we still don't know who you were or where you came from. See you in a sec. Still putting myself back together here. Taking a moment to talk with one of my partners, who spent some time looking into alternative options for how to fix the problem of having an VR chat. And what's wild to me is that, like, we see a consistent stutter just kind of all the time, no matter what, when I'm streaming in OBS, just in general, and I don't know why that is. But when we were doing that VR chat stream earlier, that felt like it was something else going on. Primarily, you know, running a stream from Denver to Chicago, back to Denver, to my headset, and then back out to the rest of the internet, just to start the communication with the other people in DRC. That's always, it's a frustrating challenge. So, let's go ahead and change our game here. Also get me back on the screen. Hello everyone. Hi. Do that for now. And let's look at whether this one will actually change over. I-O-N. There's two I's in this. Hey, that actually pulled the right one. Good. Okay, cool. So, as you can see there, we're about to play the game Resolution, which I don't know a whole lot about. I'm very, very curious. Beep, beep, beep. Jump over here. Oh, hey. Jabusta. Alright, so yeah, that decides it right there. We're going to be playing Resolution. And I do not know much more about this game than what I ended up writing into the description in the community votes, so I'm excited to see what it's all about. Make certain we get our volume mixer opened up. Put all of our stream element particulates back in place. This. Dang, I don't want to pause this track, it's so good. I need to listen to this album after work. It's seriously, Acidic Fun Dip, you make amazing music. Please keep making more music. Never stop. Never stop. You're so good. Well, continue making art as long as it makes you happy and as long as you feel as though it brings something to you as well. Because for now, it certainly makes me happy, and I'm betting it makes a lot of other people happy too. Okay, so this is Resolution. The control scheme on this one's supposed to be similar to Zelda. Oh. Ow. Yeah, those sounds are oppressive. What a cute little game of soccer. Where'd the ball go? Alright. So these two are doing their own thing. I'm gonna let them do their own thing. Is there any way? My two controls are kick and move. Oh, there's the ball again.
Okay. So I'm curious what's over here. Whoa. Hello? Whoa. Hey. Can you hear me? Oh, good. How do you feel? Can you move? Whoa. Okay. So I can also just press and hold. Okay, I'm not gonna keep doing that because that makes me feel bad. What's this? Don't know. I'm just breaking things now. What is all this? This looks important in a different way. Okay. This must all feel strange, I guess. I want to help. How can I help? Can you find me? Well, okay. That's the thing trying to fight me. It's over. Okay. Did I take damage? Okay, so that's health. You seem lost. I think I can feel you. Watch it. Take it slow. Ah. Don't know what's up with all the goop barrels. Hello. So there are things that can damage me that I'll run across here. Okay, that's just a path over there. It's dark. Can you see? Yes, I feel you. You're close. You seem calmer. What happened here?
This is Alibi, an exceptional access specialist, outlearning and outperforming even the leading AI in encryption and hacking. She's the tip of the Infinite Empire's spear, and you're going to carry that spear into the heart of the enemy territory. She will dismantle terrorist networks from within, assist her precisely.
Let Alibi guide you. You found me. Thank you. This place feels confusing. Are you confused? Looks like we need more data. Should we keep exploring? Cloud City. Looks like remembering is painful for you. I can't help with the pain, but I might help make sense of everything. Finding sources, building paths, symbols project from dimensional displays in lines, blocks, and shapes of multicolored code. Oh, looks like it worked. What if we find a memorable face? Working with veterans, I noticed painful memories are easy to access. You survived a few fights. What's one that stands out? Whoa. What is all this? Oh. Hostiles detected. Engaging. Sorry, Chatterino. I don't think I'm actually offline. I'm looking at my stream right now on Twitch. I feel your pulse rising. Do you feel like you're in danger? You probably won't like this. I read your people's power file. There were a lot of redactions. Yeah, I am very much live. Thank you, Chatterino, for notifying me of the thing that I'm doing. Look, I trust your intuition, but how am I supposed to access these terrorist networks if you don't access your memories? And it sounds like you don't want to fill in the blanks. That might be holding us back.
Deployed by the people's power to protect people, useful for riot control.
Choose item with space? Aim with P, fire with O. What? Oh, okay. I see. It's right click for those doing keyboard and mouse. This is really pretty. Okay, let me look for samples. It probably isn't your favorite thing, having someone dig around for patterns in your past. Thanks for waiting. Wait. Oh, this is a different place. Ow! Ow. I'm doing terribly at this. Ah! Oh. Whoops. Okay. What is the point of fighting these people? Wow, I am bad at this. And I know that a lot of this is just like not reading the enemy's rhythms or knowing how to fight against them yet. There's tells in any given combat. I could have sworn Huh. I just had a sudden distinct memory of buying fruit gushers and not knowing where they went. Is that me on the screen? Hello? Choo-choo. Obviously. Hey, psst, come here. We're prisoners, obviously. Trying to free us as part of the fourth side quest, obviously. And you want to do that, obviously. What you need to do is find the escaped prisoner, ask for his lucky number, then type it into the machine beneath this world, obviously. So I just found a secret. Don't know what it is. Whoa. Whoa. Woo! That is some really high damage. Oh no! We continue. Little Amogus. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just fighting random stuff. Like, I'm not even fighting stuff with a purpose. I'm just fighting whatever the game throws at me. Am I supposed to go this way? Like... Oh, I guess I go this way. Okay, where are we in relation to... We're still trying to get way down here. Okay, so that's a save point, I'm assuming. Just a sec.
Trying to remind myself to actually eat because I haven't been lately.
I have a good feeling about us. Does that sound funny? Hey, look, we've made it this far. Thank you, Valor. I couldn't do this alone.
Our character's name is Valor? I can see you upgraded the other arm too. In fact, there's not much organic material left at all. You're all bottle and no ketchup. But hey, I got new logs as well. Let me show you some sweet revenge. Whoa, that's a big gun. And I'm offline again. Supposedly. In the middle of a boss fight, I'm offline. How am I supposed to get close enough to this guy? Yeah? Are you kidding? Again? Well, at least I got the girl in the end.
Also, if a game studio wants to hire a voice actress, I'm here. You've been approved for Infinite Empire Augmentation. They increase movement and reaction time. Stabilizing drugs are provided via neck injection. Accelerate movement by holding shift? Yeah. Okay. That's such a fun little sound too. Beep 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 beep. You're all right? You're all right. We're all right. Oh, okay. It's a good first step. Finding these memories and facing them means a lot. With enough, I'll be able to recognize patterns in the Cradle network. We can stop these attacks before they get worse. Down the rabbit hole we go. This is probably gonna hurt. But I think we'll be alright, yeah?
What is this music? 1 sec. Okay, this is interesting.
One prosperity, one economy, one humanity, brother. One. Welcome to the library.
Bud, you good? Oh, okay. Checking for updates. Western resistance groups tried to breach our archives. History sections. Checking for updates. Oh, just checked in my feed. You're on it. Checking for updates. Witness Benson went outside to collect samples. Look concerned. He's late for Scrabble. Sound worried. You think he got lost? Look off in the distance. Or eaten by that sand monster. It's me, the sand monster. Ah. 30 years after the open war, we're still manually sorting information. Open new tab. Know any good tagging apps? Open new tab. Open new tab. Sinking. Hello. Social anxiety detected. I'm just a witness. Serotonin injection. The preserver is downstairs. He's in charge. Maintain eye contact. Index Universal Thesaurus 99162 UTH Tribe Terrorist Resistors. Preserver sets healthy limits to help humanity manage information overload. Index Universal Thesaurus 99163 UTH Protect Proactive Peacekeeping War. Preserver says the right word at the right time can make all the difference. Now that is a tech priest. I admire your Augs, brother. They have that query typical pre-war compliment. Classic element to it. Suits you. Suitable. Order. Chaos. When we set healthy limits on the overwhelming flow of information, humanity survives. Reference B1662 to 60098. Of course, with limits there's resistance. Resistance is healthy. Boundaries need testing. Left shelf, please. Show us where to focus. Head west. Stop the resistance groups from spoiling our work. They're armed. Hold transaction. Continue. West tribes are forced update. West terrorists are forced update. The resistance group in the west needs to calm the forced update. Calm the fuck down. Calmer. Calmer. Processing. Dosing. Processing faster. Dosing. Hit my dosage limit. Limiter says if I don't slow down, I'll melt some important cables. Calm down. Mushroom clouds. Whoa. Whoa. Calm down. Processing much. Hello? You're a giant cat. You're a giant cat. The giant sand monster. It wasn't me, it was a kitty. So how do I get around there? 1 up, 2 down, 3 jump to 1. These resistance groups just don't share our values. Clear corporate values can be cut through the toughest resistance. Category, filed. Cradle, not filed. Collection, filed. Correction, filed. I forgot I could run until that exact moment. Honestly, I'm getting a little bored here. Go faster. We don't need another war. Wait, spare me! Instead, kill my brothers and sisters west from here. They're your sworn enemies and obviously need to die. Did you buy it? Huh. I don't know what the purpose of that was, but I did it. I'm an awful person. I killed a bunny that I found inside of a box. What is this thing I found? Whoa. Well, lots of... How are you feeling? There's a lot of data here. I can work with this. So, we have Freeman of Herbert's universe, huh? Could you stop shooting? That looks like a thing. Let's go take a look at that. Aww! How do I talk? I want to pet it! Soldier. A Sangha in the west. Naga, great Naga. We three came looking. Only me. Only me. The hell does that mean? Sorry, bud. You nearly killed me. Into this giant face. Got some mouths. Got some of whatever that is. Hello? I wonder. If you are a puppet, and I am merely your reflection, whose fear are we facing? Whose fear would you bring into Cradle?
Okay, it's there again. Did you just remember something? It keeps changing, adapting, buffering. 2x, 72%, 100%. Don't let it get away.
Your path has led you here, but who is your guide? Once on the path, I watched a young warrior bow to Fear and ask, "How may I defeat you?" Fear replied, "My weapons are that I talk fast, get very close to your face, and you obey." This person's got the Moonlight Greatsword. If you do not obey, I have no power. You can be convinced, you can believe, but you don't have to obey.
Whoa!
I wonder, puppet, who pulls your strings? And they return to dust. Show me that which I might see. Teach me that I might learn. What happened here? What did you do?
How are you feeling? I see why fanatics can be convincing. It's not like they have reason. We can learn a lot from this cradle. If we find another cradle, I can compare patterns to find a proper access point.
What is that? What does that mean? Tell me. Teach me. Slowly, gently, night unfurls its splendor, grasp it, sense it, tremulous and tender. Turn your face away from the garish light of day. Turn your thoughts away from cold unfeeling night, and listen to the creatures of the night.
I'm like still looking for a place to bathe from the last game. Oh, your little cube. All empires start small. Two bunnies united by a common language, a common religion, currency, enemy. Become 4 bunnies, become 8 bunnies. I had a big family. They said danger was coming and ran. I hopped toward danger.
What are you?
An authority will emerge, promising prosperity. Demand rises for more resources, more territory, more carrots for all. Mind you, I heard through the grapevine that there's a madman in the forest.
I gotta say, the art style for this is something else. It's refreshing. While expanding their borders with war, the Empire needs to stabilize its core by controlling the belief system and culture. I had a dream of fields filled with blood. Wes, what are you? Well, we found the heart of the woods. Connection lost. No map data available. Very interesting.
Aww.
Also, let it be known that I have no idea where the hell I'm going. I'm just going. I might actually need to cut earlier than anticipated, just because of the body pain issues. It's been raining here all day, and as nice it has been to listen to that, it has hurt so much. Also, I'm very lost in this game, and I feel like I need to read a bit about it before I attempt to go much further, because I feel like I'm going to mess up something in this world. Monolith of Minds. Okay, let's give that last one a try. Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. Just because I had the intent on doing all three today. And I'm curious as to what it's like. This is on the Godot engine, which is semi-relevant to today's news, since Godot is one of the companies that creates a product that is an alternative to Unity. And if you're tired of hearing about Unity, well, I'm sorry, this is a gaming channel that affects my work directly. Let's see here, volume mixer, let's get this one turned up. Ah! Hello? Do you wanna capture that? Maybe? 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 Yeah, maybe? Hey, we're here now. Okay. Let's move this over here and change categories. Okay. Let's do this. It was a very silly intro. Interesting. I'm a little ship. I'm a little flying saucer. And I'm bonking everything. I'm a puppy and I'm exploring by bonking into things the way that puppies like to explore. Have I made myself clear? Whoop. Long neck. I'm relighting my joint for this. Destination updated. Press tab for map. A gate. A point of interest. Huh. Okay. No! You may assign hotkeys to tools at any time. Ooh. a different tool, I guess. I got a little gravity pause. This game is very strange. Okay. Wait a sec. All that's a cave in too now? So how am I supposed to get out of there? We fly. What? Completed the homeworld? What does that mean? You there, Hef? Eat rocks. What are you? Concept art. Hope you're having a good night, Hef. We're doing some chill gaming. After all the intensity of Portal, I decided to do some different stuff. Just kind of see what's available out there. There's a period of time when PlayStation was coming out with quirky games. This reminds you of them. So, I like the idea of this being something that you would find on the PlayStation 1. It has a vibe, like an aesthetic that I would say almost reminds me of the old Medieval, the game where you're a knight who throws his arm at people as a weapon, and like it's a real it's a real specific aesthetic that's hard to like pin down, and there's a couple of other games that come to mind, one of them being Botanicula. I'm not certain if you're familiar with that one. It's a wordless storytelling game that's similar to this, where everything is just you have blinking lights waved at you and you have to figure out what you need to do. But in Botanicula there's a lot less of the whole like go here, you must do thing in this location. Instead you are very much like meant to piecemeal together things and parse things out. With this one that so far hasn't, like, I'm being given and force-fed every piece of information about how to utilize every tool in this, and I'm certain that there will be a complexity point later where it's like, now take everything you learned and combine it all together in interesting ways, but we're still doing the tutorial side of this. Thankfully they're using game design through level to make that a thing. Versus, can I grab that? You. Next artifact. Next artifact. New armor, huh? Cute. Oh, I can hear my phone going off, but I don't see it. Huh. Okay. Whoa, you're new.
Ah!
Is this a repulsor? Ooh. Okay. What is this? Ah! The hell's the artifact thing? You know, this has been a very strange night. I am exhausted. I think I'm gonna actually stop from that. Plus, I already did a stream earlier today with doing all this scene karaoke. Let's go ahead and break away from this. Yeah. I'm pretty sure stuff is saved. If it's not, then we'll come back to another day. I don't have the attention span for this style of gameplay right now. Catch me on an RPG, I guess, because like that just isn't doing it at the moment. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. That's just how it be. That's probably closer to where my head's at the moment, but let's do some no thoughts head empty and find out who we want to raid for the night. If it wants to play, I don't know. It might not. It might be broken. I may have upset the machine gods yet again. Hey, we're back. Okay, we're back to say goodbye. Blah. Actually, I'm going to hang around here for just a moment no matter what, because I want to see the new fan art that Josh provided today, which should show up in this reel, and I just kind of want to make certain that I actually do before I disappear. Let's see, is there... If I go to my slideshow here... Dinky background. Browse. No, that's not it. Properties. Unload image when not showing. Apply alpha in linear space. Isn't there a button I can use for like transitioning to the next frame in the background? I could have sworn there was. Part of what I'm worried about here is that I may have the backgrounds in the wrong directory if this is defaulting to C drive again. Bye! Oh, there it is. There we go. There's one of them. I wonder if the other one will pop up soon then. Cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and set up for a green glow dog raid. See where we're taking this. Had that blip every second or so. Might be codec errors. Maybe a fix is having those be 720 instead of 1080 output. Might help. Don't know. Thank you for taking a look, Hef. I will give that a try. I'm not entirely sure. I've also... Yeah, at some point that you've got time, I would love to do some experimentation with your guidance, because I think that you're probably one of the most technologically savvy on this end of the streaming thing, out of the folks that I know. Like, you'd be able to diagnose that the quickest. Ooh. Koi is doing Neon Abyss. Let's send everybody over to say hi. Okay. Thank you everybody for dropping in. Thank you for all those hanging out in the chat, and for everybody in the background, as well as for all those who decide to watch the VOD. I hope to see you all again soon, about 9 PM Mountain Standard Time, if we don't have more random ass pop-ups. See you all again soon. Love you all. Have a good night. Say hi to Koi.